evening, everybody. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful, nice warm day here in Wisconsin. I was able to get the kids out. We went up to Willow River State Park, played around in the lake, so I hope everyone was able to get outside if they could. We even did a barefoot hike. We love grounding and being barefoot at home, and I never think about it when we go on hikes, but it was really nice. So I felt the pull to do a video tonight, or live, but I wasn't totally sure what to talk about. I did make a post earlier about the fact that I eat really only one meal a day, and how much that's shifted my my health, my overall health and well-being. So extending on that, I decided to talk a little bit about addictions and wounds and how they show up when it comes to food and our behaviors around food and health and wellness in general, in a good and bad ways. In that, I don't think people realize how rampant addictive behaviors run in the health and wellness space. We've become so addicted to the things, the next thing that's going to make us healthy, the next thing that's going to help us lose weight, the next perfect diet, the next, the next perfect supplement, the next perfect smoothie, the next perfect, meal replacement, whatever it is. And it's actually very comparable to the pharmaceutical industry, in that we keep looking for the magic pill. And being a holistic practitioner, I see those parallels. And having explored all of them myself as well, I really see how it shows up. And I think there is a cycle around that, not only a cycle in our wounding or how we're raised and conditioned into society, that we are drawn into those paths, but also in the process of breaking down our cycles and seeing where those patterns are not serving us. So I'd spoken on YouTube in my last video about how our pain and suffering is often our path for transformation. And I see it show up in music, as I'm very musically driven. Lyrics and vocals of music speak to me very prevalently. That has to do with my clairsentience, that's psychics of feeling into things, or like words and lyrics speak to me. And I noticed that in a lot of bands and transformations, a lot of the ones that go through the darkest things have some of the greatest transformations and some of the greatest art and beauty that comes out of that suffering. And I see it in the wellness space as well. Some of the people who have had some of the darkest and harshest conditions, being able to find their way through that and coming out into a thriving life on the other side, all with the power of our own bodies. And that's where it's often missed that it's not that stuff outside of us that is fixing us. It's our own commitment to healing, our own motivation, and our own body's strength and our drive to push our bodies to the other side, if that makes sense. So I always speak about how allopathic medicine is treatment based, and true healing comes from stepping away from all that treatment based thinking. Even in the holistic space, we see the same thing of deficiencies and needing these nutrients and needing this and that. You need this perfect diet. You need to cut all this stuff. You need to add these supplements, add these protein drinks, add this. It's still it's still that same mindset of treating from the outside. All of this stuff, these things, are that magic thing that's going to make your life perfect or make your body the way you want it to be, bring you into the space of thriving. And all the companies, I'm going to get in trouble with a lot of people calling out a lot of these companies that claim to have these best products, a lot of these network marketing companies, which oftentimes some of them aren't awful products, but they're also not the right products. 99% of those things are the temporary fixes. And that's where the addiction comes in. So we're addicted to those patterns. We're addicted to the behaviors around finding the next best thing, or getting ahead of another person, or even just the cycle of losing weight. The next diet plan that's going to make you lose weight in 30 days or whatever it is. And even just our behaviors around eating and why we eat. And someone got very upset with me about speaking to the idea that we eat way too much and we can have way less food and actually thrive more because our bodies aren't weighed down. And the argument that comes from that all the time is that, well, if that was true, then there wouldn't be all these starving people in the world. Well, what I would say to that argument is that those people, I mean, first of all, we don't know the situations of what everybody's in, why they're in that. But there's a level of consciousness and frequency that comes with that kind of ascending into a thriving state of being with less food. So there's a level of belief that comes into it, and fear. Anytime you're in a state of fear, your frequency reflects that, and your body reflects that energetically, and you're kind of put into that state of survival. Being in those lower states won't allow you to transcend that psychological and physical need for food. Now, in no way does that mean you should just not eat. We don't need to eat. No, it means that we need to begin to work ourselves into a way of life that requires less food, slowly over time. It's a long process, and not a process of starving yourself, because you're going to push yourself into anorexia or bulimia or whatever type of binge process of eating. We have to become very connected to our higher self and our inner knowing, that intuition of feeling what true hunger is, because most of us don't even understand what true hunger is. We're addicted to the habits of eating, the routines of eating, our schedule of eating. And we don't actually listen to our body's needs, true needs, not emotional or psychological conditioned needs, but the actual energetic need, or cravings. Listening to the body does not mean to feed a craving, because those cravings are part of that addictive behavior. So that's where fasting comes in. I really feel fasting is one of the best ways to start to become more in tune with your body and its needs. Hands down. And just simply starting with short times of fasting to really understand your body more. Understanding that your hunger is not on a schedule. Your hunger is not on a calorie basis. It's not on a restrictive macro nutrient micromanagement. All of the micromanaging of nutrients and fats and carbs and calories and proteins and all of that, that's all very distracting from our actual intuitive bodily needs. So when we talk about letting go in order to be able to shift our consciousness, this is one of the biggest aspects of being able to let go. Is a lot of our expectations around nutrition and food. Not only on the side of how we eat, but the over-analyzing of what we're eating. And that doesn't mean eat whatever you want, doesn't matter, because it does matter. It means beginning to let go of so much restriction and overanalyzing of everything, and allow your body to intuitively tell you what you need. Again, that's not feeding cravings. So you'll learn along the way as you begin to fast and incorporating fruits and herbs and other parts of detoxification. You begin to notice these little cues of your body and what means what. That's why I don't like to call myself a nutrition coach, because that's not what I do. What I do is help you become in tune to your body. Help guide you in a way that allows you to connect with yourself and your true needs without restricting or micromanaging every little thing that you do. And that starts with fasting. Um, in the process, you will come into a lot of healing crisis, which can be emotional, psychological, mental, or physical. And a lot of that stuff comes up along the way, which is an important aspect of the shadows that you work through. And you are acknowledging, you have to become aware of those shadows of yourself and how they play a role in your wellness and life. And nutrition in itself shouldn't be its own category, because for me, I have noticed the real blend of nutrition, intuition, spirituality, and how united that all needs to be, and how united that process really is. It's all encompassing. We can't just, and that's the biggest issue I have with allopathic approaches to medicine and health, because it's still very specialized. Everything's separated into categories, into special areas, and you have your specialist here and your specialist here, and it doesn't blend. When we can blend science and spirituality, nutrition and spirituality, and shadow work, self-healing, herbalism, that is where the realist transformation happens. You really come into connection with yourself in the highest potential. And you'll begin to get that inner guidance. So that's where I lead you to, is I will help lead you toward that inner guidance, so you can then do it on your own and trust that intuition for yourself. Healing yourself through, and that's the end goal, being able to heal yourself. Our bodies are self-regulating and self-healing in every way. And this light, sunshine, is a very important component of healing. Like I said, it's not just the nutrition, it's not just what you're eating, it's what you're doing, how you're connected to yourself and nature, being able to understand the energetics of our body and how we heal with sunshine and the ground, earthing, the energetic exchanges we get from that. And that we are light beings. In the astral, in the spiritual realm, we're light beings. So this type of light energy is so fulfilling. It adds a lot to our being and the strength of our bodies. All right, I think I'm going to leave it at that for the night. I went a little deeper than I expected, but you let it flow and that's what comes out. So if you are interested in starting your journey into fasting and fruits and allowing your body to truly self-heal, message me and we can talk about where to start. And like I said, fasting is really that first step in the understanding of your own potential to heal yourself through these detoxification steps. So everyone have a great Monday evening.